Shipmate Clothing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And then he told me you're in the West Coast.
I am, yeah. I'm in San Diego right now. And yeah, we're just over here in Point Loma.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice area, man. Beautiful.
I get
Yeah.
San Diego vibes or California vibes from your designs.
I do. Big time. Big time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm a Southern California native, so try to put my life into it as well, most I could, and kind of. I think what Southern California aims for, or California kind of aims for, is like the very inclusive, inclusivity, and try to match that the best I could with what a shipmate means, and try to really kind of put those two together, because I am out here in California. So yeah, it was interesting. Definitely trying to mold those two together and put them together, that represents me and kind of what I believe in, and give that to the masses.
Oh, we're gonna get more into
Yeah, I
it.
can't wait. We'll get into you and your first and last name again.
Yeah, Brandon McGuckin.
McGuckin or Duckin? I'm sorry.
With the G.
With the G. McGuckin, right?
Yeah, McGuckin. Yeah. McGuc. Yeah, Guck.
Duck. Oh, McDuckin.
Guck.
Guck. Guckin. Sorry, dude. I'm about 4 or 5 daiquiris in. My bad.
Oh my God.
McGuckin. Got it.
Oh, okay, great. All right, so I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1. Introduce us. Heath will have you introduce. We're gonna take a quick pause for our sponsor, and then we'll go into your whole backstory.
You introduce them, baby.
Okay.
I don't want to fuck up the last name.
Yeah, better.
I'm sorry. I've just really been drinking. We're gonna have. That means we're gonna have fun, though.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be a good time.
All right, here we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to E14 Podcast. I'm Jamie Britt.
And I'm Heath Britt.
And together we're E14. And today with us, we have Brandon McGuckin, a shipmate and the owner of Shipmate Clothing. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for extending the invitation to me.
Dude, looking forward to this, man. I tell you what, we got a California boy with us, loving that weather over there in SoCal. We're over here in southeast Louisiana getting ready for Hurricane Ida to come probably push our shit in.
Yeah, and Heath has already been preparing by drinking lots of daiquiris.
We're having a hurricane party, y'all, and I'm daiquiried up.
There's no party. It's just us.
It's true. Everybody's too scared to come.
Anyway, let's take a quick pause for our sponsors and we'll get into your story.
Welcome everybody back to E14 Podcast. We got Brandon McGuckin with us from Shipmate Clothing. Dude, I'm loving your shirt, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got it there. Got it there.
Shipmate on the back. So that tell us first of all a little bit about you and your service, and where you're from and how long you were in.
Yeah. The service for me lasted 5 years. So went in pretty much straight after my 19th birthday, maybe like 5 days after that, and went straight into Intel Specialist School. So I was an IS in the Navy. Yeah, and so did A school and C school over in Virginia, and then got flown out to the Vincent that was on their first Westpac after Haiti response. Mm-hmm. So I got flown in. They were already in 5th Fleet at that time. So I got flown in and then just went in straight into operations at that point. And I came back, did a couple months in San Diego at Coronado, and then went back for another Westpac deployment. After that, led into PIA, which was interesting. And then headed across the bay to Point Loma, where I did EOD support with EOD Training Evaluation Unit 1. And that's where I finished out.
Cool. So for our listeners, can you tell everybody what countries specifically are Westpac? because I try to tell everybody and I get confused what's West and East. So what are the typical countries for Westpac?
Yeah, so typical countries, you're going in from Seventh Fleet into Fifth Fleet, right? So heading out of Hawaii,
Mhm.
maybe go into the South China Sea, head of the Philippines, possibly go up to Malaysia and Korea. So you're just looking, pretty much off the coast of China,
Yeah.
monitoring Chinese and operations, and then you head up into the Indian Ocean, transit the Strait of Hormuz, and then you'll be up in the Arabian Gulf, Persian Gulf, and you're monitoring and supporting at that time OIF operations, launching jets in Afghanistan, Iraq. So yeah, you're looking at off the coast of Africa for a bit, off sometimes off the coast of India, and then into the Persian Gulf where you're supporting CENTCOM,
Yeah.
Afghanistan, Pakistan, etc.
Yeah, man. What year was that when you did that deployment with the Stennis?
No,
I was
Dennis.
on the CVN 70.
70. Oh, sorry, man. I thought I heard Stennis. My bad.
Yeah, it's all right. So that was 2011. 2000. The deployment technically started 2010. I hopped on board 2011 in January, and then that went all the way up until the end of June.
Okay. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that was it. 2011, and then went back for another one in 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I'm an old fart. I did 2 deployments, 2 Westpacs. I did on the Abraham Lincoln out of Everett, Washington. I did 98 and 2000. 2000 being the time when the coal got attacked, if you remember that. So we didn't get anywhere cool because we were forever not hitting ports. We got 2 beer days. And then the first one that was pretty cool, we hit Hong Kong, Singapore, Perth, Hobart, Tasmania. There's some pretty cool stuff on Westpac. Westpac is definitely the best. West Coast is the best coast, in my opinion, if you're in the Navy.
Yeah. With that caveat.
yeah, with the caveat, if as long as the coal or ship nothing bad happens. Now, I tell you, that 2000 wasn't no joke. We had like 95 days straight. And then when the Twin Towers got attacked in 2001, it got worse because I just got off the Lincoln right before they went on their next deployment, which they went like 130 days straight without seeing port. It was ridiculous. And that became the norm. Like Westpacs weren't no more 6 months. They could go up to 10 or 11 months. It had changed after 9/11, after the war on terrorism. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on there then. And now with the ships, now the guys are doing COVID. With COVID, they're even worse. They're like quarantined 3 weeks, have to stay on the ship before they go on deployment. It's just gotten crazy for those guys and gals.
Yeah, COVID ribbons coming soon.
Yeah, right. They should make one. Yeah, I agree.
So what have you been doing since 2000, what was it, 11, 12?
Yeah, so I did 2011. You're talking about in the Navy?
No, just what have you been up to since you got out?
Yeah, I got out in 2015. And yeah, so I mean, pretty much since then, started school, finished school, and then just working full time while I was pursuing my education. So I'm a social worker in my full time job.
Cool.
Oh wow,
cool, good. That's a good occupation, man.
Yeah.
What degree did you go for with that social worker?
Yeah, I got a MSW, so Master's in Social Work.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
That's great.
Work, and then working on my licensure, which you'll become a licensed clinical social worker at that point. So authorized to do individual therapy, group therapy, etc.
So what drew you to that field from IS to social work?
super spook to social worker.
To social work.
Yeah. A lot of people, like, man, you went from the government doing intel work to human services. And, at the end of the day, I think both really involve critical thinking. you know, to be really good, I think at both of those different domains, you know, you're still solving problems. You're just solving problems for people at that point, or you know, or trying to assist them in solving their own problems. You know, so just like Intel work, right? You're gathering as much information as possible and make an assessment that will, you know, provide the best outcome. So, you know, ever since I was young, I always knew I liked to help. I didn't really know what capacity I was going to help, but you know, ever since I was 12, 13 years old, I've always enjoyed helping others. So I figured might as well pursue a degree and do something that I love to do.
You know what's so crazy? And I'm going to interrupt you, Heath, because I know you're going to ask a question. But when you tell me that Intel kind of is the same as social work, I feel the same with air traffic control. And now I'm recruiting because I feel like it's the same. You know, you've got the people, the planes going around, and you just got to get them to the deck as the fastest, most expeditious route possible. And for us, we've got people that want to join, and you've got to get them to MEPS and get them to boot camp the fastest, most expeditious way possible. So I feel like it's the same in that aspect. And it's funny how you kind of drew from your Intel experience and said, all right, this is why I'm a great social worker. This is why social working works for me in my mind, because it's like putting a puzzle together, but in a different fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's transferable skills. You know, I think that's what makes the military the best. You know, we can transfer all the skills we've developed and maintain those.
Yeah, and Jamie likes to relate everything in life to air traffic control.
Everything in life does relate to air traffic control.
But I want to tell you something about Damnick. You went to A school in Damnick, am I right?
I did, yeah. A school, yeah.
Dude, love that place, man. I wouldn't want to go to A school as an IS there because you were working on weekends as an IS student. Am I wrong?
Absolutely, right. Yeah. I was.
I remember sitting there drinking beer in front of the barracks. I'd see all these little A schoolers, ISers, like this is Saturday, like at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta go to school." Oh, hell no, man! I don't go to school on the weekends. What was it? Y'all had to do y'all had to do this display or whatever. There's something that y'all had to do. I can't remember what it's called, but y'all had to actually talk in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And why y'all get these reasons. It was crazy. It was a lot of work for y'all. It's a bunch of kids. You know, these are all like 21 and younger. Bunch of kids having this pressure put on them. And I thought I had a hard A school. I was an ET, so I had a tough A school, but we were off on the weekends. Thank goodness. Hell with that.
Yeah, if we got lucky, you know, maybe Sunday would be an off day, maybe, and that's if you know, busted your ass Monday through Saturday.
Right, because it's perception. I love Damnick. You probably hated Damnick.
Yeah, it definitely sucked.
That's why he went West Coast.
That's why he's not living in Virginia right now.
Yeah, once I found out that, because the Vincent was actually stationed in Norfolk, and then when I got you know, given my orders, I was like, oh, I'm in Virginia, and then I was looking up, you know, like ship movement. I was like, oh, we're actually going to San Diego. This is great.
Yeah, that's right. Because when I would do the Vincent, when I was on Lincoln, it was in Bremerton. Back in the day, back when you're probably still in grade school or junior high or something. Back when she was still like a 7th grader. Yeah, I was on the Lincoln, and we pulled into the yards in Bremerton, and we're pretty close to the Chucky V and Carl Vinson back in the late 90s.
Yeah, a lot of history, a lot of movement.
It is. But I'm curious, man. Like, so you join the Navy, do a deployment. So you get out in 11.
No, 15.
Oh, 15. Sorry. You're going to deployment 11. You get out in 15. Then when did you decide, hey, I want to start making clothing lines? What triggered that, man?
Yeah. So funny you bring that up. It started on the Vincent in 2012.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, started on the Vincent in 2012, right back when we still had the blue NWUs before the Type 3s came out. And right, we're all in the Navy, or I'm no longer in the Navy, but right, Shipmate was you know, you can use it interchangeably, right? It could be like a term of endearment, and then it could be to some people, demoralizing word at times. Right?
I was going to ask you why you chose the word shipmate for your
I know why,
clothing
because it
line.
wasn't taken.
What?
It wasn't taken yet.
No. Yeah,
that wasn't.
but like you said, there's two meanings. There's hey shipmate and shipmate.
Or shipmate followed by an ass chewing.
Yeah. I would never shipmate up the chain of command, right? So it was, originally, that's what it was. It was kind of a joke at first, right? So
It's
this
funny.
logo that we had made, right? We printed some shirts, and it was just some friends, right? Just some friends, and we would wear our shipmate shirt underneath our NWU
Right.
uniform, and it was just kind of like this small rebellious kind of joke where we'd be shipmated by our chief, and then we kind of move our blouse to the left and be like, yeah, our shipmates.
I'm here. Yeah.
So we kind of just owned it at that point. And so yeah, originally it started off as a joke, and later on, when it didn't really start developing until I got out of the Navy. And it was at that point that I realized, it's interesting, you get out of the Navy and you're like, man, I wanted to get out, and then you're out and you're just like, I wish I would have maybe,
Right.
possibly, I kind of miss it in a way. I miss my shipmates. And
Yes.
and I thought about that. I was like, this word shipmate is more than it's definitely more than a joke, because you got the CNO who addresses us as shipmates, just in the recent deaths in Kabul, right? He addressed the whole Navy starting off with shipmates. So obviously this word isn't a joke, and it's a strong term of endearment. And that is today what we find ourselves in, right? It is not a term that is, yes, you can joke around, but at least maybe be able to keep it as that, right? Not such this demoralizing word. Maybe you can use it both ways. Kind of just be lighthearted about it. But at the end of the day, it is a term of endearment. It is what represents us sailors together, camaraderie. And that is where we are pursuing this company today is, it's a word that is earned and not given. And it is given to all who are in the Navy, to include maybe Coast Guards and, eventually all sailors kind of around the world.
Wow.
That's an awesome outlook, man. And it's not just you. You have partners, right?
I do. Yeah. I have one other partner. I served with him on the Vincent, and he's been actually traveling all around Europe. He's actually in Russia right now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's living in Bulgaria. So he does contracting work, but yeah, he's over on that side of the world. So, really good friend of mine. His name is Tony. And yeah, we continue to build this brand from, two sides of the world. And yeah, he's a great guy. So
Awesome,
shout out,
man.
Shipmates building a brand
I
from
tell you what,
across the world, right?
Shipmates helping shipmates.
That's it.
It
Love
is but when you speak about it, I can tell that you truly understand in your brand understands what shipmate means, because in our hardest times or when we need to draw together, you're right, that's how the CNO addresses us, shipmates. And from that point, it's not a joke, and it's not, oh, he's shipmating me. It's, something has happened and I need to address you.
It's almost like saying fellow sailors, fellow whatever, shipmates. We're all the same. While I tell you this, it's almost like when the president says "my fellow Americans."
Great.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good connection you made there, right?
Like, yeah, that's how I see it. Now I've been shipmated and got my ass chewed after that too. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be just like your parent chewing your butt out of love too.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I mean, I never got my ass chewed where I didn't deserve it. So yeah.
All right. So you've been growing your brand, and I've taken a look at it, and you've got different, it's not just t-shirts, you've got different lines out there and everything. But where are y'all taking this brand? What is the next steps for Shipmate Clothing?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been since 2018. That's when we really took a strong, serious approach to it. About the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, and right, we've been growing steady along. All organic for the most part. The direction has become a little more clear, I would say, in the last year and a half. And before moving out to San Diego, I was living in Los Angeles, and the company has gotten to the point to where, I can't, as the CEO, I can't ignore where we're at now. I can't ignore how much we've been growing. And, we've quadrupled 5 times our sales every year since we started. So,
My gosh.
yeah, so it's been a long road. It still does have a long road, but I can tell you right now what we are aiming to do. We got some pop-ups happening, and that's really cool, over along the coast here in San Diego, different spots. But what's on the horizon is, honestly, getting into the NEX. And
Nice.
And we want to be, we want to be the Sailors company. We want to be the brand that that represents us, right? And I think Shipmate kind of does that. It shows like the fun times that we get to have together, as well as representing the seriousness and camaraderie that makes us the best Navy in the world. So that's kind of what's on the horizon, and the reason why we came back out here to San Diego.
And I went to the NEX the other day, and I saw that we now have Old Navy clothing in there, and they have nothing to do with us affiliate wise. It's just Old Navy, and it would be nice to have another Sailors clothing in there versus just some big brand that just happens to have the word Navy in it.
I know.
For me as a consumer and person that shops in the NEX, I would prefer your brand over that.
Definitely.
And so I hope that
and it's just something to be said, man, about that word shipmate, because like you said, like you're a sailor, your buddy Tony got out in 16, right? I believe you told me that.
Yeah, 2016.
And it's that thing about sailors is we're on the ship, especially on the ship, you see it all the time, is that it sucks sometimes. And we talk about embracing the suck. That was one of our episodes. We all embrace it together.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, because you're all out there together, and all you can do is rely on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a clothing line that's by, from, for shipmates, the sailors in the NEX would just, I think it would be freaking awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
And definitely love that. And I like to say you want to be the shipmates clothing. We want to be the sailors clothing. We want to be the sailors voice. Dude, right. I love it, man. I love where you're coming from, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of your guys' podcast. I just listened to one right before I hopped on here.
Awesome, man.
And it's great because the sailors need a voice, a positive voice, a voice to have those really tough discussions. And that was the last podcast I listened to, was having that tough talk that you guys are having around, I think it was back in February, but it was around extremism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was awesome, right? And us shipmates, right? We got to come together and have and be strong during tough times. And so yeah, I think that's really awesome that you guys are the sailor's voice. And it's great because when I made this brand, I was looking for something to bring us really together, and I think that is what a few of us out here or maybe a lot of us out here are trying to really do, is bring it all together.
I think so.
Oh, I think so. I think you're doing a great job, man. I see you on Instagram, blowing up Instagram, man. And dude, you got some cool freaking clothes. I mean, it's just cool stuff, man. I like
Yeah.
the whole,
Heath doesn't know this yet, but my next paycheck's going to
What's that?
y'all. So
yeah.
I've already
But I like the
I've already
shirt.
picked out what I want.
To our listeners, the shirt you're wearing now is like just a simple little sailboat and
Yeah.
Shipmate in cursive and yellow. And
Yeah.
man, that's cool. It's like small notes. You know,
Yeah,
it's not
right.
just, what do you call it, May? Just
In your face?
It's not in your face.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
subtle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of the thing right now. And I really like that. I like that shirt you're wearing. And
Yeah,
on the side, what do you have on the side again?
Yeah, I got the flag.
Flag, the American flag. Yeah, on the sleeve.
Yeah.
And then on the back.
Shipmate on the
Shipmate,
back.
Yeah.
Shipmate in bigger letters on the back. No, I like
Can
it.
I make a suggestion?
Yeah, what's
Can we
that?
get a brown one for under our new uniform?
Yeah, you got it. So that's great. I was actually intending to send you guys the Coyote Brown shirts. So
Oh wow.
Oh,
be
cool.
hitting your guys'
Cool.
mail soon. So
Awesome, man.
Woo!
Appreciate it. Man,
Yeah.
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love the idea you got. I love the design. It's simple, but it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And people don't what it says, a little bit does a lot.
Mhm.
It's enough. I love it.
Yeah.
So listen, this is what I would love to have you kind of close us out with. Of course, we're gonna have you drop your handles and everything, but I know a lot of sailors out there have these ideas, whether they're on deployment or they're, just sitting around the smoke pit or whatever, but a lot of great entrepreneurial, is that a word? Entrepreneurial ideas come from just being with our shipmates. So what would you tell those that are getting out and facing that transition, that are looking to start their own line or brand or whatever it is that they've got? What advice could you give to them?
Well, I think before the the part where I say don't give up, right? Like you have to have the start. And that is where people fail, is the start. And so my advice would be, if not, if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? So yeah, I would say, just do it. Just go for it and do it knowing that there will be some, I don't even want to call them mistakes, but learning curves.
Mhm.
And I think the second part to that, to just get started in doing it, would be to really analyze what you're trying to do, try to understand what you're trying to achieve, and go look for people who have already been in that space. Because I've found that entrepreneurs and business people, yeah, of course the bottom line matters, but at the end of the day, those entrepreneurs and business people who have helped me along the way, that's what they enjoy doing, is helping. And ask for help. It's just going to make you a better entrepreneur and dream chaser at that point.
You love it, man.
Wow, that's great advice.
That's great
And I'm going to take
advice.
it to heart, because as Heath gets ready to transition out of the Navy, I need his butt to start working. So he needs to
Bro,
make
I'm retarded. I'm retiring in October, man. 26 years. I'm giving it
Yeah.
up.
Oh man.
But not because I want to. They're kicking me out. But not kicking me out. I got to retire.
You're
HYT.
tenure. It's fine. You're
HYT in my ass. But dude, you're right about that. Once you start, and most of the time it becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
Like this podcasting, yeah, podcasting is cool, but my addiction is getting to meet people like you. Even though it's not in person, it's virtually, but I love that. I love that part, man. Like, bullshitting with you on Instagram. It's been a blast. And I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I tell you what.
Hit us with your handles and where we can find your clothing and all of your social media that you're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, on Facebook, we're Shipmate Clothing. And you just type in Shipmate Clothing. So it's Shipmate space clothing. And then on Instagram, it is Shipmate _clothing. And then the website, you can hit us at www.shipmateapparel.com. But something that we have done since the beginning, and something that we will continue to do, because we want to connect. That is pretty much everything, is connection. Right. So if someone was interested in purchasing apparel, you can actually DM me. I'm the one behind Instagram, and you can just shoot me a message of what you want, and Shipmate will cover all taxes and shipping for you. So, and we do that so we could build a better connection with who is in our community. So that's just something we've always done and will continue to do. We don't really broadcast that, but when people do message us, I let them know about it. So
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
Wow. And yeah, I mean, that's great. And it's a good idea, even if you don't fall under the Navy umbrella or the Shipmate umbrella, just to DM and possibly send these shirts out to the fleet, or, young sailors that maybe just need them reminder, through these hard times.
That people are thinking about them.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So guys, hey, whoever's listening, check out my friends Brandon and Tony at Shipmate Clothing. Look them up, man. Veteran owned. There's nothing better than supporting a vet that's supporting military members.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Stick around for a minute. We'll bullshit for a second when we close out.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we wish you fair winds.
And following seas. You stop recording real quick.
Okay. He's just going to hit stop on the recording.
Okay.
My daiquiri cup froze to the blanket.
Shit.